There's been plenty of moments that I fell in hard times. More often than not, getting faded was my lifeline. I realized that I've always struggled with change, but sometimes you gotta rearrange before you go insane. I've been doing my best to stay true to myself, put my next foot forward and smoking dope for my health. I never give up the music till I'm rolling in wealth. Some days I swear this basement's my own personal hell. Well, I love the sound of the city. Goddamn, I love the sound of the city. Yeah, yeah. I'm wide awake when you're with me. I feel better when you got my back, yeah. Red eyes, I'm sky high. I think this might be the best night that I've ever had, that I've ever spent with you. I confess I'm obsessed with the sex. Heart palpitations every time that she texts. I admit that we ain't always been the best for each other, but what is love without the little test? Girl, you know you're my sneaky link. When I'm with you, my ego shrink. I'm just craving time for us alone. I think about you every time I'm home smoking dope. I love the sound of the city. Goddamn, I love the sound of the city. Yeah, yeah. I'm wide awake when you're with me. I feel better when you got my back, yeah. Red eyes, I'm sky high. I think this might be the best night that I've ever had, that I've ever spent with you.
I've been dealing with the pressure, all the pressure in my head every day when I wake up feeling dead. I'll never say what I'm thinking in my head. I'm spending every day dwelling over my death, dealing with the pressure, all the pressure in my life, compression in my mind run down my spine. I don't always dare do what I know is right. There's some people in my life we should probably sever ties, dealing with the pressure. I don't need a fucking lecture, I just need to try and hold my conjecture. Fuck your nice gesture, I know after everything I've been through I'ma be a better man, no less. So for dealing with the pressure,
What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Nice to see everyone. Market analysis. Bitcoin pumped really hard over the weekend. A lot of us are in a really solid long with really no threat of loss. We're, I believe, on the long that I've posted like a dozen times. The minimum amount I'll take back is like $5,000 to $6,000. I'm gonna go over that and what my thoughts are. I'm actually, this morning when I woke up, I was like, we'll see how the day goes. A lot can happen. The chart looks pretty damn bullish. And I haven't seen the euphoria that really marks the top of a move yet. I'm seeing a lot of cope. I'm seeing a lot of people that are saying it's manipulation, that it's not real. I mean, just in general, TA, it was all there. So, what's up, Dorian? What's up, Nuno? What's up, Steven? What's up? Is that a Stize? How's it going, man? Or woman? Okay, so really gonna cover, same old stuff like we do, and then gonna go over a lot of Bitcoin stuff. Gonna go over a lot of what's happened in the past and what we're looking at now, and hopefully that kind of ties into like the overall thought process. So SPX this week to last week, not a lot of change. Again, really thinking there's just going to be a bull flag and we eventually break through. Guys, we're 5% off all-time highs. Okay, we already had a 30% drawdown. I think recession has already been priced into the market. And for those of you that don't know, the economy and the stock market, yes, the stock market is somewhat of a reflection on the economy, but it's forward-looking. So the stock market's already had its kind of downfall. Also, we have the most sideline capital in human history. Okay? The most, people are leaving bonds. People are going to take that money, they're going to put it somewhere, right? There's so much sideline capital you can't even fathom it, right? It's like we don't need the middle class and lower class to push the market. It's all the sideline capital is going to push it. Ultimately, it's going to push us higher. And again, I know I've said this already, but a lot of that's coming out of bonds. I'd like to see 4,600 break and then, kind of some consolidation for higher. Even if we consolidated, made a bull flag here, not too much concern. I know a lot of people think this is a double top. In my opinion, it's not. There's just too much variance between your left and right side in your confirmation point. Because, again, we could do this, right? Like, we could do that, and that's still bullish. Like, you don't confirm this anyways until you break 4,100. So, again, I imagine we break 4,600 soon. I don't see a reason why not. I keep hearing how bad the economy is and how bad everything is. The grocery store I go to is packed, and it's not some bougie grocery store. All the restaurants we go to are packed all the time. People are always hitting the girlfriend and I up to go out. People are spending money. People are churning money. They're still, buying cars, buying things. It's Christmas. Like, I've spent the most money. Now, granted, I've got a lot more money this year than I have ever in the past. It keeps growing every year. But people are spending money on Christmas. People are, there was a statistic the other day that, like, there was less Black Friday shopping. Well, yeah, because people can buy things online. They can find better deals online, and they can ultimately, they're not driving around their hometown all day. They can just do it from their computer. It's a convenience factor at that point. But, I just don't see, I don't see the pain that other people are seeing. Like, and you have to remember, like, I know the middle class and lower class get the shit end of the stick, but they're not the ones that drive the economy, and they're certainly not the ones that drive the market. So ultimately, eyeballing 4,600. If we break it, all-time highs are next. The XY, again, said this last week. I'd like to see a retest and continue lower. Could not retest at the same time. Looks like we're seeing some consolidation to go lower, ultimately. I don't really see anything reversing, even if this continues sideways for the next year. I still think the stock market and crypto do pretty well. Total's breaking out. Total's looking nice. Really, really liking this. Really liking this. So if we can stay above, this $1.5 trillion area, it's huge. At some point, alts will have their time, but for now, Bitcoin dominance continues to rise. Again, once we get to Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance, I'll give you guys my full top down, but not a lot of change. Potential breakout looks real nice. Really liking this volume here as well. Everything to me looks really solid. Tether dominance, I want to see 5.7 lost, right? I want to see this area. I want to see a breakdown, retest, continuation. We called the ascending wedge. We've been dumping ever since. Really, really liking what I'm seeing so far, right? Last week, we ultimately ended the week down, but we had that retest, continuation. I really want to see another breakdown. Just for our sake, let's look at the daily and check out like RSI, MACD. So yeah, I mean, you technically do have some potential bullish divergences forming. Excuse me, I did not get a lot of sleep last night between here and here, but they're not confirmed, right? This could still continue, and now it's not bearish divergences. So not a lot of emphasis there, not a lot to really discuss. Again, we mainly look at a weekly, and the weekly looks very bearish, which is very bullish for everything else. You have to remember, if this and Bitcoin have an inverse relationship. So moving on. You guys know, and if you're new to the stream, we cover everything. So if SPX is bullish, which it is, DXY is bearish, which it is, Tether dominance, which is bearish, it is, Bitcoin should ultimately be bullish, right? A lot of these things have inverse relationships, although equities are positively correlated with crypto for the most part. So let's get into this. Bitcoin's at resistance. I know a lot of people are going to be scared and confused, and I think a lot of people have gotten the worst in the bear market, but this is a very bullish setup, right? If you look at the daily, I know that this is upwards consolidation, and some people thought that this was an ascending wedge. It is not. This is upwards consolidation. This is extremely bullish as long as this breaks out, and it did. It broke out. Now we have volume going up, price going up. What I'd like to see over the next couple days, maybe some consolidation and a breakout. We head towards 45, possibly 48, right? There's really nothing on this chart that has me wondering what's next. I know that there are potential divergences here, and there certainly are for now, but if this thing rips to 45, what if RSI goes all the way back up to 93, right? Then those divergences are immediately eliminated. I really like the way this daily candle looks. It's very solid, lots of volume. Overall, you could argue that volume is somewhat going down, but honestly, guys, I think it looks fine. I think for now it looks good. We had low volume throughout this consolidation. On the breakout, on the follow-up, we get lots of volume. Really, really liking that. Not really concerned as of right now. I know I have, I definitely have, if we nuke, let's just say something crazy happens and we go below like 39K, that's where I'm taking profits. I think there could be some fluctuation. And I'll show you guys some previous examples here in a bit. Same bro, people are spending money like crazy. They are. The restaurant I work at is almost always packed every weekend. The Netherlands has been in a recession for 2 months, so people don't care. Yeah, it's, again, this narrative, because and maybe it's just me. I get on Twitter and all I see is doom, and I see that this is manipulation, and that all this and all that, and all this crazy stuff, all this crazy bearish stuff. And don't get me wrong, the debt that we have, eventually we're going to have to pay for. But I don't think on a short-term scale, meaning like the next 2 to 3 years, that it's going to affect us. I think 5 to 10 years from now, yes. 2 to 3 years from now, no. What do I think about ICP? Is it legit? I mean, I have some. I don't have a lot, but I have some. I'll be honest, I don't know a ton about the project, but I don't know. I liked its chart. So, guys, for the most part, I trade the chart. Fundamentals are great, and don't get me wrong, I'm in some things for their fundamentals, some coins for the fundamentals, but I'm looking at the chart and what it's done in the past, what it looks like now. Past me, what has it done in prior bull markets? Has it broken all-time highs? Has it consistently broken all-time highs since 2017 or whatever? What does the chart look like now? Does it look like it's bottom? Does it look like it's got potential to run in ICP? And just to kind of give you an idea of what I look at, let's look at ICP, right? And I think I bought somewhere in like I think I actually bought, honestly, I don't know where I bought. I know I'm up a little bit. I think I bought somewhere in the $4 range. Again, I'm not too certain. But to me, this looks like possibly descending wedge. Possibly descending wedge. Also, there are lots of coins that looked like this and now have broken out. You're looking at, Attic's not a good example, but you look at something like, let's see, like ADA, for example. And ADA's ADA. But you have this kind of descending wedge. It breaks out. Again, not as clean. I'm feeling kind of lazy right now with all the alt charts. I don't care to do a lot of TA on them at the moment. That's not a good example. Crow is a good example. This is another one I'm in. I mean, you can see it clear as day. You have this kind of descending wedge thing. We break out. And guys, earlier this year on Bitcoin, clear as day descending wedge. I mean, clear as day descending wedge, breakout, continuation, consolidation, continuation. Lots of bullishness. Sign that a bottom's in. I know a lot of people are saying it's not in, and it could not be in. I don't know everything, but it seems like it. I can't believe we're this close to all-time high. It's confirmed at least 100K. Yeah, probably. Are there any levels that you are looking at to get into longs or add to longs? No, I'm not looking to add to anything. I'm in with like 110,000, which I trade with about 500,000. So I'm kind of mad I'm not in with more, but I mean, I entered the trade on Friday. I'm up almost $15,000 in like 3 days. Like, I'm not mad about that, right? And I think sometimes you have to look at perspective, especially with trading. If you can make, over $5,000 a month, you're doing better than like 80% of Americans. So, just my 2 cents. Could be possible double top on Bitcoin day. What? Where is a double top on the Bitcoin day? Sorry, that's my alarm to do my Spanish lessons. Double top. What? What are you talking about? Bitcoin day. There's no double top. Thanks for everything you do with the streams and the posts. Oh, no problem, man. I'm glad you like it. What do I think about PYR? I don't know anything about it. Yeah, guys, and part of the reason why I don't do a lot of alts, especially right now, because one, we're not in a bull market. I'll say that right now. We're not in the bull market. You're not in a bull market until you break all-time highs. 2, there's 20,000 altcoins. Like, I don't have time to go through all of them. I don't care to go through all of them. What you see on my screen, probably from Matic upwards, is what I own, right? So, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link, Tau, DGB, Crow, Ajax, ICP, FET, Matic. I mean, there's like a couple more. Let's see if I can find them. Yeah, like, I don't really see them. I can check my phone, but again, I don't really trade alts until the bull market, right? Until Bitcoin puts its all-time high in, until Bitcoin looks exhausted. So essentially, and just to dumb this down, and not that any of you are dumb, just to make it very simple, essentially, Bitcoin pumps really hard, right? And then it sells off. Alts, some alts might pump, some alts might do nothing. And just to give that timeline, some alts might pump a little bit, maybe they do nothing, whatever, and then they drop. Maybe they put a lower low in, whatever. On this drop, what you should look for is Bitcoin dominance. If Bitcoin dominance starts going down, you buy the shit out of alts and you look for alt setups, because all of this money here is going into altcoins. That's when you trade alts. Right now is not when you trade alts. Maybe Ethereum. Maybe you're accumulating some alts because they're low. But right now is not when you're trading alts. You should not be trading alts until Bitcoin dominance, again, starts breaking down. Bitcoin dominance right now looks really strong. We do have I don't think this is a potential double top. Not really. You look at the weekly, not really. Not really, not with the way Bitcoin looks. But again, if dominance continues to rise, Bitcoin's going to rise. If we look at dominance from January, right? Even October and November, when Bitcoin bottomed at 15K. Let's see the exact day when Bitcoin bottomed at 15K. So you're looking at November. So November, let's go to Bitcoin dominance in November, right? Here you go. Bitcoin dominance bottoms. right? Heads upwards. What does Bitcoin do? Bitcoin also bottoms and heads upwards. This is a sign that the bear market is likely over. When Bitcoin dominance is going up with Bitcoin going up, that means that Bitcoin's taking liquidity from alts. That means that Bitcoin, and for those who don't know, Bitcoin generally puts its all-time high in first and generally has the largest gains first. That doesn't mean that an altcoin's not going to outperform it. You know, let's say you have a year-long bull market. Bitcoin, for the first 3 months, Bitcoin's probably going to outperform everything. Most likely. I'd put a 90% of the time it's going to outperform everything. Right? You might have one or two coins that does better, but for the most part, Bitcoin's outperforming everything. After that, you know, Bitcoin, let's say Bitcoin goes to 120,000. And, you know, let's just say, for example, that is the all-time high and that's it. Maybe we go to 150 very slowly, right? Because ultimately 40K was kind of the top. I know we went to 65 first, but it was a very slow, choppy grind to 65. But anyways, let's say we get to that 40K, that harsh sell-off happens. When you see dominance start to roll over, and let's say dominance does this, right? We get to here, and then maybe we start to do this. When you see that level break, right? When you see this level break, that's when you're looking for alts. When this starts to show bearish, that's when you're looking to trade alts. Right now, not a good time to trade alts. It hasn't been a good time to trade alts at all this entire year. And I know some of you are like, oh, but I'm in an altcoin and it's up 3 times. Yeah, I'm in a couple altcoins and they're up 4 or 5 times. But for the majority of the market, you are better off trading Bitcoin right now. It is extremely strong and dominance has not shown any remorse. Oh, okay. You meant Bitcoin dominance. No, I wouldn't really call this a double top. Plus, I mean, there's potential, but you have to close below 51%. And even if we do, ultimately, I still see Bitcoin going slightly higher, but altcoins are going to explode, right? So ultimately, you're still going to see bullishness across the board and across the market. Some alts are now making, okay, but that's what I just said. Some alts are going to make all-time highs before Bitcoin does. That's just how it goes. There's 20,000 coins. But for the most part, most are not. Okay. It's my first bull market. If it's your first bull market, don't be afraid to leave money on the table and take profits, my man. Don't be that guy that bought, you know, just for example, don't be that guy that bought Bitcoin at 16,000. And when we go to 100K, don't be the guy that doesn't take profits because you saw someone say we're going to go to 300. Telling you right now, when your grandmother, when your friends, when you go on YouTube and Twitter and see all these crazy posts and everyone's buying and Bitcoin is the best thing ever, sell. Do yourself a favor and sell. Remember what I'm saying, sell. Don't sit there and go, oh, but the possibility of 300,000, I could, you know, ignore that shit. Sell your shit. Don't be like everyone else in 2021 that got caught buying the top or holding the top and have been feeling some of the most pain they've ever felt in their entire life, right? There are people that bought at 50,000, 60,000 that are probably still holding, or maybe they held until 30K and sold and they're even more mad, right? Because, you know, we're at 42,000 right now. I took my profits. Yeah, I haven't taken profits yet. I'm gonna keep going over some stuff. So, okay, for those of you that don't know, I'm in a Bitcoin long. Why? So on the 1 hour, and just so that we're clear here, and I'm going to show this historical example real fast, just so it'll make sense. This is upwards consolidation. This is not a reversal pattern. This is upwards consolidation. Really like the low volume here. Really, really nice. And why do you need upwards consolidation? And can you have upwards consolidation? You absolutely can. It's to reset. Honestly, reset RSI and MACD. Reset any indicators, right? You look at Bollinger Bands too. You need these to reset. You need this to come back to its mean, which is that brown line there. That way you can continue moving upwards. But let's go back in time, right? And there are, now I want to say hundreds, but there are dozens of examples of this. And yes, this is, you know, the kind of the start of the bull run, so to speak. This is upwards consolidation. We get that breakout, bull flag, breakout, consolidation, nice move upwards. From that original upwards consolidation breakout, we're up 40%, right? You're probably going to see some choppiness. I'm not saying this is exactly what's going to happen, but I think it's very, very possible we see a $48,000 Bitcoin soon. I think 50s is a stretch, and honestly, if we saw 48,000, I'm taking profits. I don't care what the chart looks like. You know, for me, anything over a $20,000 gain is significant. It pays the bills, like it gets everything done. Reinvest it, whatever. But yeah, I think it's very possible. And just to kind of overlay, just for the sake of things, I don't necessarily like doing this, but just for some of your guys' sake, I will do this. I gotta find the ghost bars. There it is. I think it's this one. And that's why I don't like that. It's not that one. The bars pattern. Let's go in here, grab this. And we'll just move this to where we are now. So we have that upwards consolidation, ultimately breakout. Again, I'm going to have to stretch this out because percentage-wise, it's not going to line up. But imagine we get something like this right before we correct. It's not set in stone, but this is very, very possible. You kind of consolidate here. We're very overbought. Again, the 4-hour, very, very overbought. On top of that, we just moved. What is this? From my original buy, we're up like, 14%? I mean, from the breakout point, we're up 10%. It's very likely we get some kind of pullback consolidation. And I don't mean like a harsh pullback, but knowing that the daily is looking as bullish as it is, like I wouldn't be too concerned here. I bought low in 2018 and held lower in 2022. Oof. Well, not lower, but you know what I mean? Yeah, probably percentage-wise. If we get 48K, I'm more convinced for a 50K with some retraces and consolidation. Yeah, I think that's very likely. I think that there's a lot of people that have not FOMO'd yet, and they need FOMO for that kind of like liquidity to sell. I just don't see any reason to sell yet. I mean, even the 4-hour doesn't have any bearish divergences yet, and it's already looking like it's forming consolidation. It's coming back within the range of Bollinger Bands. Now, if we kind of lose this point, then yeah, maybe you could argue that we're reversing, but I don't see anything that suggests a reversal yet, especially on the 4-hour. The 4-hour is my bread and butter time frame for a lot of these moves, especially the bear market when it's not, it's not the bull market, so you can't always expect a parabolic move. So knowing that we're not really seeing any reversal really at all, and volume looks really strong on the 4-hour as well on the daily, I'm just going to let it ride. I'm just going to let it sit. I mean, we got to what, like 42,200? We're at 41.8, and we're almost done with the day. That's huge. This candle's completely solid, very, very bullish. If Propa Blue becomes bullish, sell your whole bag. Yeah, I would say yes. I'd say probably a sell sign for sure. Would argue that that's a pretty good observation. All right, let's look for maybe some other examples of upwards or downwards consolidation. I mean, here's another one, right? You have this downwards consolidation. This is not a reversal. This is ultimately to bring RSI back to the mean point, and then we dump and continue that trend. Consolidation, dump, right? So all of these moves, these upwards and downwards consolidation, it's just to bring indicators back to the mean, back to a place where they can continue. And let's look at the 1-hour, right? I mean, this looks like it's forming a bull flag already. I mean, what if we literally just do that, get that bull flag, and then rise over the next couple days, right? I don't think it's going to take, maybe not that long, but it's looking really, really solid. But what I will say, if you're long where we are, probably put your stops at around 39, right? Ultimately, we longed the double bottom here, got that breakout, nice little volume on the breakout, got that diagonal-ish breakout and continuation, right? Lots of consolidation, continuation. Last night we continue again. Everything looks really strong. This is a very, very bullish. This is very, very bullish. This is very, very bullish structure. It's acting bullish. Everything is looking good. Now, what I would argue, if we had, if this candle like pulls back like all the way to 40,500 and we close with mostly wick, not necessarily good, right? I mean, you're looking at something like this where maybe we dive bomb, maybe it's a much larger consolidation, but for now, it looks really solid. And if we look at RSI objectively, right, thinking that this was all consolidation. So look at RSI basically from the white line moving forward, no divergences. Yes, we are a bit overbought, but we're not looking crazy. We've been all the way to 90. We get to 90 points quite often, right? Quite often knowing that we correct and still hit 90. So this thing could easily, do something like this for a while. What's my next level? Okay, so just to give you guys a little bit of information. So it's hard to determine the levels at the moment because we haven't revisited in almost 2 years. So if you look at this, 42.5 is resistance. I mean, looking at all of this here, 42.5, 45, and then around 48, right? Around 48 is, you have a little bit of rejection here. And if we just kind of stretch this out, support here, rejection there, kind of a breakout, kind of something, the little bit of confluence here, rejection here, not a lot here. Again, this is an area that hasn't been visited a lot, so there's going to be crazy wicks, crazy volatility around it. It's going to be really hard to spot. So if you really want to know where to sell, just continue to move up your stop loss. Again, if you're in a lot of profit, there's nothing wrong with just taking money off the table and walking away. Essentially. But yeah, guys, I'm going to end it there. I got to go cook. Got to go take care of the dogs. Just a quick thing. If you haven't found out already, I partner with BingX. There's a 20% fee discount if you use the referral link. If you already use BingX, just DM me your UID and I can get you that fee reduction. Also, I said this last live stream. I'm going to be updating a lot of the Patreon roles and what's coming in 2024. So I'm going to be expanding Patreon. I'm going to be providing private analysis every single day. Every single day when the stock market opens, so 9:30 Eastern, in the morning. And just kind of covering, charts, basic financial data, any news-related events that are coming, maybe talking about, like, why is there so much, uninvested capital? Like, why are we seeing the most, just sideline capital in human history right now? What's happening with housing? So on and so forth. So it's really just like a quick 30-minute market call. You can sit in and listen to it. If you can't, sit on the live the call, it's going to be posted to Patreon. So you'll have that opportunity to listen to it anyways. With all that, guys, when does the trading class restart? Probably not until March. I'm probably going to take a break from that for a little while. I want to get back into live streaming consistently. I'm also kind of redoing Patreon and all of that. So I would say if you really want to learn, look for that change in Patreon. It's not going to be expensive. I'm probably going to do $40 or $45 a month for it. You're going to get trade setups. You're going to get the daily analysis every single day, Monday through Friday, unless there's a holiday. Because, again, I can't really do it if the stock market's closed. It won't do weekends just because nothing really happens on the weekend. But you guys get the gist. With all that said, guys, please be patient. Users manage.